I don't know what kind of plant this is, but there are a ton of these in, I guess it's called the Formal Gardens. It's right outside the Student Union on the Oklahoma State University campus. And years ago, I took a picture. It was not a close-up picture like this, but I took a picture of whatever plant this is that had a whole bunch of these leaves on it. And you can see it if you're on the blog. I've got a link to it. If you're on YouTube, click over to the blog. You'll see a link to it. And ever since then, like for years and years, I really appreciate the colors of these plants, these leaves, whatever they are. You get these deep reds and greens and yellows. And I don't see this in a lot of other plants. Maybe they're there and I just don't see it. We all know by now I'm really not much of an arborist. I don't know much about plants or any of this, but I do know that I like taking pictures like this. The thing that really draws me to, or drew me to this, was the droplets of water. So this is a mid-afternoon. It was after it rained, and I really like being able to capture a drop of water. It's one thing I've learned about myself over the years, especially as I've taken more macro photos, is it's just something that it's satisfying to capture the tiny world contained in a drop of water. I don't get to do it that often because we don't get a ton of rain where I live in Oklahoma. But when it happens, it's so cool. I shot this with my D750, my macro lens, shot it at f/13. And that's something that I wouldn't have done in previous years. I think I've taken other photos like this at smaller apertures. I've done some focus stacking where I kind of slowly rotate the focus ring to get more in focus, even though it's a shallower depth of field for each individual shot, and stack them together in Photoshop. I do not like taking the time to do that. Instead, what I've learned is to just use a smaller aperture. The trade-off is, shot this at ISO 200 as a result. No problem. Adobe Lightroom's AI denoise took care of that. So I did use AI on this photo just to do a denoise algorithm and make it nice and smooth and none of that noisy, grainy stuff that shows up on higher ISOs. By the way, Oblivion gate leaf. This reminds me of an Oblivion gate from the Elder Scrolls. Is it 4 Oblivion? I think so. I think 3 was Morrowind, 4 was Oblivion, and then 5 was Skyrim, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like an Oblivion gate turned sideways. So to my brother Phil, if you're listening to this or reading the blog post, I hope you enjoy this photo of an Oblivion gate leaf turned sideways.